Hello, this is just gonna be another one of those updates on my health. I'm not trying to avoid anybody or anything, but I'm gonna make this video like the person watching has never seen me before, doesn't know who I am, doesn't know anything, but you're gonna hear the same stuff you always hear. My name is Eric. Used to make YouTube videos about Bible prophecy, or even just about basic Bible understanding. And I enjoyed that. I didn't enjoy making the videos because it's hard to write a script and then shoot the video and then edit the video and all. It's a lot of work. But I enjoyed the end result. I would make really nice videos that a lot of people enjoyed, gave people hope. And I knew I had spent my whole life trying to find hope, just to get some joy, some hope into my life. And so being able to do that for other people like myself felt great. But I don't do that anymore. And I am pretty sure I'm never going to do that again. But I can't just walk away from people, because there's people that have for years and years been coming to my channel every week looking for a new video, and I can understand that they worry about me and they wonder what's happened. But anyway, I've had a lot of health problems, which is not why I quit. I quit making videos because, one, I just wasn't inspired to make videos. I used to have dreams about videos, and then I would just take those dreams and bring them to fruition. But anyway, I stopped being inspired by my dreams, and I stopped just having these ideas pop into my head. That's like, I can't make a video if there's nothing there to make a video about. But anyways, then I got so emotionally distraught when I made my last Bible video series, which was called Melchizedek, that I just couldn't do it anymore. Even if I was inspired, I'm just like sad and angry. But immediately afterwards, I started having health problems. So it didn't really matter if I was inspired or not. When you're sick, you can't do anything. But if you're new, then you don't know. It's like when I was growing up, I was beaten every day. My parents didn't beat me, but I would go to school, like elementary school, middle school, high school. The children just every day would beat me. And most of the damage at that time was really emotional. You get bruised up, cut up, but it damages you mentally more than it damages you physically. So kids would punch me in the face just for no reason, and other kids would come up and they'd kick my legs out from under me. And so, I took a lot of abuse. And so all of the soft tissue in my body is damaged now. But not even just the soft tissue, but like my bones, my joints, my spine is really messed up. All the stuff that can go bad with your spine, I have that, like slip disc and ruptured disc and compressed disc and bone spurs and all of that stuff. But lately, my hips and my knees have been causing me a lot of pain. And I don't know if the VA can give you. I guess they can give you addictive drugs to heal pain. They won't give them to me, probably because I'm in the psychiatric system in the VA. And so I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed. My doctor's not allowed to give me those things. But they gave me something called Meloxicam. And suddenly my hips and my knees feel a lot better. I still can't drive a long distance or walk a long distance, but I feel good. I'm comfortable enough to lay in my bed and sleep. I used to have to sleep in a hospital bed. But I've had this problem with my esophagus, and I guess the update is that I had a CAT scan, and the doctor discovered that there's a bone spur on my spine that's facing forward, and it's compressing so my esophagus is being compressed. It's supposed to be like this, but now it's like that. It's kind of squished, and you can see it in the CAT scan. And so what happens is, if I just swallow something, even something very small like a grain of rice, it gets stuck. You know, just to describe to you what trouble swallowing is, because it sounds like something that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it really is a big deal, because that rice will get stuck, and then I'll swallow a spoonful of food and it'll fill up, backfill, and then you swallow another swallow, and eventually it gets up to the point where your breathing tube is, and then you can't breathe. And it's scary. It's a very scary feeling not to be able to breathe. The way I end up having to take care of it is by pouring water down and then hanging upside down so that the food will just flow out of my mouth with the water. And then it's almost like vomiting, but it isn't really vomiting because the stuff is not coming out of your stomach. It's just in your esophagus. But anyway, that's part of it. And that makes things worse, because then you end up with this acid reflux, which compounds the problem. So the doctor told me that surgery would probably take care of it, but he didn't recommend surgery because of all of the things that can go wrong with back surgery. And I already knew I was never going to let anybody cut off my back. So they've given me several drugs that make it easier to swallow, and they gave me drugs for the pain. The pain drug medication I'm using is meloxicam. I may have already said that, but it makes the pain in my hips and knees is virtually gone. But now, like the ends of my fingers, this whole part right here is feel like they're under pressure, like there's something building up in there, and it tingles, like when your foot falls asleep or something. My fingers always tingle, very painful, but at least I can function. When my hip and my knees were hurting really bad, I couldn't function. So now I can walk around, I can drive. I can't drive a long distance or walk a long distance, but at least I can drive and walk. And I'm able to swallow food now. I have not had trouble swallowing food since I started this new medication for my throat. But here's something that caused a lot of confusion when the doctors were looking at me is I'm allergic to feathers. And I always knew, I kind of knew I was allergic to feathers when I was very little, like 6 years old. I can remember my mom telling my aunt that I'm allergic to feathers. And the explanation was I would play and whatever all day long and never sneeze, but when I got in bed, I would sneeze all night long. And so my mom figured it had to be something in my bed. She took the feather pillow out of my bed and replaced it with a synthetic pillow, and I stopped sneezing. But I mean, that's all I knew about being allergic to feathers. And so I never worried about it too much. I wouldn't just go out and intentionally buy a feather pillow. I always check to make sure there's no feathers. But I haven't seen a feather pillow in probably 30 years. So when my throat started hurting, it started burning, it started turning into like my vocal cords started feeling like hamburger. I went 3 months of this horrible pain where, I mean, when I would go into my doctor or whatever, I would just start crying. I wasn't trying to make myself cry. My doctor would just say, "How are you doing?" And I would just start crying. I mean, to the point where I couldn't tell her what was wrong because I couldn't stop crying long enough to do it. But anyway, I was laying in bed about maybe a month ago, and I put my hand on my pillow, and I felt a stick, like a pencil or something was in my pillow. And so I just started feeling the pillow, and I thought, that feels like a feather in my pillow. And I read the label, and sure enough, it said that the stuffing in my pillow was feathers. So I went through the whole house, making sure there were no other feather pillows. I found two, and they were recent purchases, like within the last 2 or 3 years. But when I bought them, I didn't put them on my bed. I put them on a bed I wasn't using, just for looks. I wanted all new pillows on there in case company came over. They'd have nice new pillows. I don't remember taking a pillow off that bed, but at some point I must have. So I found 2 feather pillows in my house. I threw them away. And I took all my sheets and blankets and stuff, and I changed them out and washed them. And I bought me a couple of non-feather pillows. And pretty much that ended like 90% of the health problems I was having. Well, I don't know if there's anything else to report on. After the doctor, I told him about feather pillows. I said, I can still feel a post-nasal drip on my vocal cords, which is why my voice isn't like this because of the bone spur. At least I don't think so. It's because I'm still having problems with allergies. So he says he can test me for allergies. At this point, I don't care. I'm like, okay, please do. I'd always heard allergy tests were really involved, and they really weren't very successful usually. But he said, no, it's not like that now. We don't have to test you for each individual allergy. All we have to do is draw blood, and we can use your blood to test you for allergies. So I'm all about that. If something is that simple, I'm more than willing to do it. So anyway, I've got an appointment now to go get my blood drawn. And I'm sure that it won't take long for them to come back and tell me what I'm allergic to so I can make changes here around my house or whatever in my life. Hopefully get my voice back. Will I go back to making videos? My health is just a small component of that. I still have to have God telling me what to make videos about, and He's not doing it. I mean, I wasn't arrogant, but I was kind of like, I deserve to be part of Christ. Like when Christ returns, I feel like I deserve to be the guy that God uses to tell the world in advance that this is going to happen. But at this point, I'm so sick, I'm so sad, I'm so angry that I really don't care about any of that. If I get to be there, when Christ returns somehow, like if I live forever and I get to just watch Christ return and resurrect the dead, I'm happy. If I die and I get to be part of that group that gets resurrected, I'm happy. If I can live forever in a world ruled by Jesus Christ, where everyone loves everyone else, I don't care about being God's prophet. I don't need that. If God repairs my voice and gives me something to share with people, I'll be so happy. But if He gets somebody else to do that, I'm still going to be happy. I mean, if you get everlasting life in God's kingdom, I don't know why anybody would complain about that. Anyways, I'm still alive, and I am making progress with my health. I love y'all all. Bye-bye.